I'm gonna share the link.
We're live. We're live, baby. We're here.
So if I refresh YouTube,
I can also send a link if you'd like.
yeah, it's not. Oh, there it is.
I gotta change the name right now.
I got it. Yeah, that's what it was. Change the name. Very good. Very good.
Okay, name has changed. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, everybody that's live. Welcome to anybody that's coming from the Discord. Today, as always, I am joined by my good colleague, Aliknak. Mr. Aliknak is here with us today. We are going to be discussing how to properly trade in the current market condition. You know, being a part of OBR, Aliknak and I'm just going to refer to him as Austin. His name is Austin. Austin and I talk to a lot of traders on a daily basis, and we do have the privilege of identifying where a lot of traders happen to fall short. So with that knowledge, we're going to hopefully share with you guys some tips today on how to stay on top of trading in this market condition, because it is a little bit more different than normal, I would say. So Austin, what are your thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, listen, we're here live right now. This is going to be rather casual. We are watching the market live. We're live. We're watching the market live. Everything's live right now. And you know, we are getting some pretty interesting price action on the charts here. But yeah, no, I think it's very important just to kind of take a step back and really have a discussion with what kind of strategies we should be utilizing in this market and how we should be overall, you know, viewing the market both on a micro and macro side or perspective. So, you know, I wouldn't say this market is necessarily the easiest thing to trade in right now, but it's definitely manageable, especially if you know how to manage your risk and you know where to have, you know, you understand clearly defined risk levels, which I'm sure we could go into. But yeah, I mean, so Logan, what do we got here for SPY right now? What do you think? A little bump and run?
It does appear to be a bump and run. Yeah, we're gonna keep an eye on that. Definitely,
Yep.
definitely.
So
yeah, I love what you said about respecting stops, understanding your limits, because while we are in more of a choppy market, it's very important to be able to take losses and take losses quickly. Nobody should be getting burnt by a single loss or two single losses, or even three losses.
That's very important.
You should be able to withstand losses, because losses happen in trading. So you need to be able to be, risking a proper amount where you can take losses, and it should not hurt you that much. Austin and I can take multiple losses, many, many losses, and we'll still be in the game trading the next day without any, bias hindering us, because we, utilize proper risk management, which is what we are always talking about. And it's just ever more prevalent, especially in this market condition, than normal.
Yeah. I mean, losing is no fun, right? Nobody likes losing. It sucks, but it's definitely part of the game, right? It's just like playing baseball. Nobody goes out there and gets a hit every single time. Nobody bats 1,000, right? Nobody even bats 500, right? There's a reason why a good batting average in the MLB is like above 300, right? You're an all-star at that point. And then if you maintain that batting average throughout your entire career, you're a Hall of Famer, right? So it's this idea that new traders in the market, right? And I guess we're talking about that idea of being afraid to fail. You're gonna fail, right? And you have to put yourself in a position where you're able to come back from those losses and really turn it around, right? One loss should not take you out of the game. And I love that you said that, Logan. Even 2 losses, 3 losses, right? There's been times where I've lost 4 or 5 times in a row, right? But did that change me as a trader? No, I stuck to my strategy. I came back and I made sure that what I was, I maintained what I was doing, right? My strategy. You got to stay true to your strategy. So, yeah, never full port anything. Never over leverage yourself in a certain position, because you never know what's going to happen. Especially in this market. So, yeah, very important to be able to take a loss. That's super important in this market.
Yeah, I like the poker analogy. I hate comparing trading to gambling, but just because it gets the wrong idea into people's minds.
Right.
But think about professional poker players. Not only do they know how to play really well and know when to stay, but they also know when to fold and when it's time to back up and take a step back. And that's exactly what we need to be able to do.
when they're in the wrong, when they're not in a good spot to pursue. Right.
And I was reading a book actually in regards to this, and some poker players, even when you get, I'm not that familiar with poker, but a good hand, isn't it like a full house? And there's something better than a full house?
Right. Well, yeah. There's, I don't know the poker.
Okay, so you don't know it either, but essentially,
well, not off the top of my head.
Yeah,
no.
There's a really good deck of cards that you could get,
Right.
and it may not necessarily be the best. And some people, when they get that really good card, still don't want to fold, even though it may be the best decision because other people have a better card in that example. Or in this trading example, it's just even though you may think you have a really great trade, in reality, it's probably best to take a step back, reanalyze, and go in a different trade.
A royal flush. It's called a royal flush.
Okay, there you go.
I had to make sure. Yeah. Full house is good, but not as good as a royal flush. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the market can switch on a dime, especially now is what we've been identifying. You know, the market sometimes, like we see right now, starts the morning very aggressively up, and I would not be surprised to see, I would really not even be surprised to see SPY end red today, or, continue for another wave higher. It's entirely, in my mind, a coin flip right now in terms of what's going to happen. The best thing we can do and what's been working really well for Austin and I is just going into each day with an unbiased perspective and seeing what trend the market is giving us and riding that trend, just regardless of whether or not we think it's going to go up or down macro. Intraday is only what matters, especially when day trading. So, just being unbiased, remaining open to the different perspectives intraday because markets are moving very, very quickly now.
Yeah, absolutely. Reacting and adapting, right? We've always been preaching it. It's extremely, extremely important. And you're right. I wouldn't be surprised if SPY closed red today. I mean, just the other day, we were seeing 2-3% intraday swings on SPY. Remember, I would tell you, you'd be like 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and I would be like, hey, Logan, what are the chances SPY flips green today? And you're like, well, that'd be impressive, but we'll see. And then it ends up doing it, So, yeah, and you guys can see my chart right now. We are, of course, if we get rid of this line, we could view this chart in many different ways. I obviously have this resistance line drawn here because earlier in the day we came up to retest it. We kind of challenged it for a little bit, and we ended up breaking out quite aggressively. But it does seem as though right now we are coming back down for an attempt at a bump and run, which is a bullish pattern. A bump and run, if you guys don't know, is typically when resistance gets flipped into support and then gets acknowledged as support and then continues its path upwards, right? It's a continuation pattern. But that's only if this level holds, right? So we do have this descending resistance holding, or this descending support now holding.
Oh boy.
Support.
Oh boy. I like
but we
that.
also have this horizontal support here that we could acknowledge. So SPY is on some relatively stable ground right here. There is a chance that we could see some green, and perhaps a continuation to high of day, right? And maybe not right away, but if this level holds and for the longer it holds, the more optimistic I'll be.
Yeah,
I'm not necessarily looking to take a trade on this right now. You very easily could go long right now with some pretty clearly defined risk, right? Your stop loss could be anywhere in the range from like 422.30 to 422 flat, and that'd be a pretty good range for some clearly defined risk.
Mr. Licknack,
valid.
Could we get a fib retracement from the low of today to the high of today?
Sure. Let's apply our 0.382, and we'll apply 0.786 as well. Yep.
Okay, so we just got to the 0.382. I only ask because, that is an area of high probability of reversal, but also I see that we did have a 5-wave move in the morning, very clearly laid out, actually.
Yeah, if we go to smaller time frames, definitely. Let's also get rid of this. Yeah. We actually came down in the morning quite aggressively there. Quite interesting. Yep, we did.
Yeah, so definitely keep an eye on this. To me, this looks pretty good for a continuation, but we'll see because, again, the market can really do anything it wants to. But Austin, in regards to staying on top of this market condition, what would you recommend besides the things that we already talked about, respecting stop losses, being okay with losses? What else should people be aware of?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing right now is trading on a clearly defined risk level. And I know that term might be confusing for some people. All we mean when we say trading on a clearly defined risk level is have a level where your trade gets invalidated or have a level where you're trading off of, right? Remember how earlier, just a few moments ago, I said that SPY could be bouncing off this level right here, and it would technically be a good long opportunity because you could go long and keep your stop loss snug right here, right? And then right past this level, you're cut. But it's a very good risk to reward trade to take because there is a high probability that SPY could get bought up from here and see some green, right? So that's just a clearly defined risk level. You're not going to win every trade, but it's going to stop you out and quickly tell you when your ideology is incorrect, thus saving you some money, right? Clearly defined risk.
Yeah.
So.
Looks like we are
Yeah.
coming back down to our 15-minute open range shortly.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. It does seem as though we're having a hard time holding this right now. We'll see. We'll see what happens here. I would not be surprised to see this get bought up and turn into a wick here in the next few moments, but we will definitely see. Yep,
Yeah,
we are
absolutely.
coming back down to the open range. I mean, as long as we remain above that, I am bullish. But
Something
we'll
else
see.
I wanted to bring up is, me and Austin and a lot of the analysts at OBR have been trading SPY quite exclusively recently, and this
Yeah.
is something that I've been talking about quite a bit, and I think that it makes a lot of sense. It's been working out really well for us when there's things that are more uncertain and things are moving more on a dime. In my opinion, it's much easier to stay kind of in the flow of how the market is moving, and by the market, I'm referring to SPY or SPX if you trade SPX. But I have been finding it very, very beneficial to stay really in touch with what the market is doing. And then if I identify a really good play, like an A+ entry on another equity, I will take it. But majority of my trades, almost all of them, every single trade but one of them last week was on SPY. So no harm in just trading the indices.
Absolutely not. No. I mean, that's all I've been trading. Recently, I did take an AMC put last week, but other than that, like the past 2 months, I've been exclusively trading SPY and SPX.
Yeah.
So, yeah, is what it is.
It's
Man,
all you need to make a living trading. There's a couple of really good trades, and
You
can
don't need
find
to.
that
You don't
very
need to
easily on SPY.
diversify. Right. You don't need to diversify what you trade, right? Unless you feel the need to. There's no rules that are like, oh, you have to trade 5 different stocks, right? No. If you can trade one thing really well, stick with it, because that's what a lot of people do.
Absolutely.
So we are looking at SPY here. I mean, I am open to looking at other equities. I'm curious to see what AMD is going to do here today. I'm still very bearish on AMD. If we go over here to the 1 hour chart, we can see that, I do, and Logan, I want your thoughts on this. I don't know if we've observed this together yet. What do you think about this possible head and shoulders forming on the AMD macro chart?
I think for some reason you're stuck on SPY right now.
Oh, I am. Yes. Yep. My apologies. Yes. Here we go.
Yes, I mean, that's undoubtedly a head and shoulders. We also just had a bearish confirmation pattern, bearish continuation pattern play out on AMD, so I'm definitely bearish on AMD, and this would play into that thesis.
Yeah, if we broke that $100 level, that would be, or $99, I should say, that would be pretty significant. We've been holding this level for a very, very, very long time. Relatively a very long time. Let's see.
Relatively for the 1 hour chart.
Yeah, 228 days. So not quite a year, but for a good majority of a year, we've been participating in this macro pattern. And it's only a head and shoulders once we break the neckline. So we got to break below $99, which may not happen, but definitely something to keep an eye on. If you are looking at AMD to the upside, keep an eye out for 112, 124.75, and also 133. If we break back above 133, which I know is a ways away, that would be very, very bullish and could definitely invalidate this head and shoulders pattern. So there are some levels to watch out to the upside for AMD and as well to the downside. But I'm still more bearish on AMD for sure.
Awesome. Well, while we're in here, guys, for the next couple of minutes, we can touch on anything you guys would like us to. If you have any TA you'd like us to run through, we can absolutely do so as well. But we do need to get back to our trading day relatively shortly. But yeah, I hope that these were a good couple of tips to trade in this market environment. There's a lot of tips that have helped me remain profitable during this market environment. Austin as well. So.
Yeah. I'm just really, really locked in here on SPY. And see, we are holding this level, relatively speaking. It is attempting to hold this level. Whether or not we're able to do it or not, that we'll see here in a few moments. But a pretty good, clearly defined risk level for SPY here that could provide a very nice long opportunity. We'll have to wait and see. So.
Awesome. Well, Austin, I mean, we don't have any questions right now. We don't have any TA requests. I think we can wrap it up unless you have any last-minute thoughts.
I mean, that was a quick little fun thing to do. We'll definitely go live here more. So
Absolutely.
Alrighty.
Word. Have a good day, everybody.
Take it easy.